Ahoy, mateys, and welcome. Know, O Prince, that between the years when the oceans drank Atlantis and the rise of the sons of Ares, there was an age undreamed of, when shining kingdoms lay spread across the world like blue mantles beneath the stars. Hither came Conan, the Cimmerian, black-haired, sullen-eyed, sword in hand, a thief, a reaver, a slayer, with gigantic melancholies and gigantic mirth, to tread the jeweled thrones of the earth under his sandaled feet, destined to wear the jeweled crown of Aquilonia upon a troubled brow. But this is not his story. Instead, we turn our eyes to the Baracus Isles and the crew of a pirate ship. Their stories are many and varied. Not to be kings in their future, yet still destiny has touched their lives. Let me tell you the days of high seas adventures. And so I welcome back my pirate crew. Before we get back into where we are currently in game, let me go ahead and I'm going to switch music just for a moment here and make sure that we're not going to drop anything. Looking good. Okay. Go ahead and pause that. All right, good. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties there. So before we get going back into what was happening with the crew, I just want to refresh everyone where we, or who the crew members are. And so I'd like to start with Captain Lambro being played by Dionysus. Give us a quick reminder of who your character is. And you can unmute yourself.
Mute myself, right?
There you go.
So, I wasn't initially the captain. I grew up around tall ships, bustling towns, received education when I was young, and it was mostly geared towards sailing. Being taught about pirates, not actually being a pirate, interested me. The prize equals shares, living a life on the seas, all of that. So soon I joined up. And then I had to do what I had to do to get the ship moving, so I fought the captain, won, and we freed our ship. And now we're here.
And next, also from Tabletop Crabologies, we have Fausto being played by Severian. Fausto, as always, good to see you.
Good to see you. I am Fausto Blackthorn, Pictish shaman.
Next up on the roster, we have a powder keg redeemed through an ammo dump from Veronique. Unfortunately, we are in the days of high adventure, the world of Conan. No such thing as gunpowder yet. So try and think of something equally terrible yet fun to throw into the mix, and I'll make it so. Next from Tabletop Anthologies, we also have Gannis being played by Hades. If you would tell us just a quick bit about Gannis.
Gannis is the group engineer, ready to launch missile weapons or rocks via the catapult. He wants to take some other ships down. And from just moving over one spot here, right in the middle, putting the handsomest, a pile of dung. That's not fun. Crab-sized pirate hat. Oh, okay. Slightly bloodied from the last battle. I'll get to that here in just a moment. Putting the handsomest in the middle, we have Kelmick being played by Turg. Kelmick, if you could remind us who you are, please.
Kelmick is an outcast smuggler from the lands of Zamora, but now I'm a lookout for this ship.
And from Diesel Shot in the upper right-hand corner, we have Lee playing Cord, a sergeant of Marines. If you could tell us a quick bit about Cord.
Hey everyone, Cord is a war criminal with a heart of gold who always knows which way the winds are going to turn and make sure they fill his sails, if you know what I mean.
And speaking of filling sails, down there, up right underneath Cord, is from Tabletop Anthologies, Aaron being played by Tabletop Tony. If you could tell us a little bit about Aaron very quickly.
Hi, I'm a naive little orphan that's pretending to be a pirate, but don't tell anybody else that.
And then last, but certainly not least, we have Milady Saito from her own channel. Let me get that out there really quick. Ah, good, it worked. Milady Saito playing Caitlin. If you could tell us a quick bit about Caitlin.
Hello, I play Caitlin, a kind of a poisonous type person to be around. She is equally as honest as she could possibly be.
She is equally as honest as she is brutal to both Aaron and other small children who happen to be on the docks.
Look, you can't just look at her in the face and say, I just watched someone steal everything off the ship with a smile on your face.
This is true. And so last time... Oh, I'm sorry.
You gotta learn how to swim then.
You're going to have to learn how to swim. If you want to watch people steal, you got to learn how to swim. Kalmik, do you know how to swim?
I can swim, but don't you throw me in the water.
And so last time, our crew members are on Nuka, a pirate haven formerly created by the former captain of the Grim Argosian, back then called Mitra's Golden Codpiece, Heimdall, along with two others, Billet and Li Fang. The crew showed up to the island. Lambro was taken away to be questioned while the others were also questioned, and a fight broke out in the Humble Crab between the current members of the crew and former members of the crew who were trying to take the spoils and the gold, or the materials that were in the ship and sell it off, at least as far as you know. There's actually a little bit more beneath the surface that we'll find out here in a bit. A fight ensued, there was some injuries, and there was some deaths. Freya, a former Marine of the Grim Argosian, was slain along with Orsu the guard. Some of the other soldiers and sailors were also killed in the battle. Helmswoman Dania and Lookout Larissa were both taken captive. And so when we last left off, Kelmic the Sly was sitting up on the bar here, looking at the bar Oricus and asking for a drink. Oricus now turns and looks, after serving Kelmic his drink, actually looks to everyone else here and is just he's a little peeved. And so I will turn it over to you all to do as you will. Oh, and I would like to point out two more things. Where is she? She's hiding in here somewhere. There she is. Nuru was actually the one who killed Freya. An NPC whose friend, significant other, individual somebody, died due to a mishap. A complication that was rolled, actually.
A wayward knife.
And the other thing I need to point out is our two our animal friends here, Claudius, who just received a hat as an equipment drop from Scud. I'll see about talking to my artist about getting the hat drawn on there. And Blessings, who is actually a blessing from Veronique, who got tossed last time, flies back over to his Lord and Master, Gannis. And so now I turn it over to all of you to do as you will.
Can I just correct one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
You say that it was a complication. I say that was a gift, okay? That was a gift. Someone's death is another one's prosper.
It was a gift of Mitra's codpiece.
If she wouldn't have died, who knows if she jumped into the battle?
That's true.
I say that's positive.
That is very true. And so I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these individuals. Okay, there we go. And these guys are dead. And so I turn it over to you all.
Well, Captain, I'd say that's been quite the exercise. We could all go for a nice round after we've, and I kind of look at the prisoners.
Who are bound up and just kind of like waiting to see what's happened. Both of them look incredibly nervous.
So I'm gonna... I lean down for a moment to make eye contact, but not close enough to where they can lunge or anything at me. And I say, you're going to tell me where this stuff was sold. Because if not every gold is accounted for, trust that it will be accounted for in other means.
Do me a... Let's see here.
Solid?
Do me a solid there. Give me either a persuade or command check, Caitlin. Up to you, which.
Persuade.
And so, helmswoman Dania is just kind of like looking at you, like just staring barbs at you, like fuck off, you know. But this one here, Larissa, says she kind of like, because you bound her hands last time. She kind of just like nods towards like over that way. We sold it to the guy that you saw us at our table.
Of course you did.
I walked up when she said we sold it to the guy, and where is the money that you've received as payment?
We haven't received any payment yet. The materials are being loaded onto his ship right now.
What is the name of his ship?
She looks at you and she's like, we're not talking anymore until we were released out of here.
Oh, that's not going to happen. That's very funny. You think you have the high ground while you kiss the floor with your filthy lips of
Cord,
freezing?
bring me the body.
And so, Dania,
which body am I bringing?
Yeah, which body are you bringing?
You would, I mean, obviously Orsu.
I drag Orsu up, and I have his fucking cape taken as a treasure.
That's true. And his Aquilonian sword.
Yeah, his Atlantean steel blade.
Sorry, Atlantean steel, not Aquilonian. Lambro, I'd like to point out too, buddy, you have 2 wounds, just so you know. Yeah, you're. So just pointing that out. Anyways, okay, so you're bringing the body up there. All right, so go ahead.
It is more of a threat. Just
Yeah. So the body's there.
Now.
Yep.
Do you want to start talking?
And so Larissa looks down and Dania looks up and she has this hard bit and just, you can see it on her face right there. Like that is her face right now, right? And she says, odds are that you're just going to kill us anyways. So you have to keep us alive as long as we know the location of these materials and the name of the ship that it's being loaded upon.
And I look around at the bar and I'm like, I'm sure anyone here could name the gentleman or the captain that you were speaking with. I don't need to keep you alive.
If you would excuse me, gentlemen, a lady, this is Oricus speaking. You know he is the owner of the Humble Crab. Very well-known, incredibly well-liked individual. One of these people that could stomp his feet and legions would show up to murder all of you at his beck and call. He kind of looks at Aaron. He's like, no. Who amongst you is in charge? I wish to speak to somebody here, please.
I turn around and I tip my hat. It is I, Lambro.
Your name is not familiar to me, sir, but if you would come down here, please, and speak with me. We have a little bit of business that needs to be taken care of before you continue on your ways here.
Okay, so as I'm turning, I kind of put a hand on Cord's shoulder, and I say, and I kind of lean in and say, take care of this. Let's get this done. Referring to the 2 females.
Yep, and that's it. Understood, Captain.
I'll go down to the bar now.
And so Oricus says, he's like, first off, I would greatly appreciate if there was no more killing in here. I've already lost several patrons. As ironic as it is, I'm fine with the crab being in here because he interests me, and I think that is a very neat thing to see in here. But it did kill people, so please make sure that it does not do so anymore. I've already lost people who left due to the fight. I've lost customers here, so no more killing in here if you would. And I believe that you need to settle up with the debt that I've accrued due to the loss of life into here and the mess that has been created.
You tally up a bill.
Oh, and he pulls out a piece of paper and he's like, I already have.
I'm sure you understand. You are not the first person that this has happened with. And he hands it over to you, and it lists 15 gold.
Okay.
Hey, wait a second here, Captain. That's what. Can I take a look at that?
I run Orsu's pockets. Does he have a lot of gold on him?
He actually has no gold. And that is the most interesting thing. If you check Freya, any of the sailors, and Orsu, none of them have gold.
Does Orsu still have any, so I know Cord took some trophies. What was left on it?
He has basically just basic equipment, a shield. He had a shield. I think he had, where did he go? Hold on, I'll tell you. He had a shield, his broadsword, and that's it. Freya had weapons. She had a broadsword, a dagger, and a shield. Excuse me, as well. None of them have gold on them. I mean, nothing. Not even pocket change.
Okay. And all of his trophies are taken, right? They've been...
I don't know what you mean by trophies, unfortunately.
Well, like his pelt that he was wearing, I know Cord took. Did somebody take his broadsword?
Yes, Cord did.
Okay. What were you saying, Aaron?
Yeah. So can I? So I kind of want to do the equivalent of fast talking here, and I'm. Hey, so I'm looking at this what invoice, I guess you could call it, but I kind of take out like a little pocket, not quite a monocle, but I'm pretending to have one, and I'm like, yes. So you've noted this expense here for this much price, but clearly this isn't the case here. This is much less expensive than what you're listing it at, and this isn't. Oh, this is even nothing. You're quoting us for damage that we didn't even cause. As your other patrons in the bar. Listen. We're gonna need a whole detailed reevaluation of this by some expert. You clearly aren't qualified here to make these sort of claims. Or either that, or you're extorting us. Which is it, man?
So you're gonna have to do a persuade at difficulty 3. If you'd stopped by not saying that he doesn't know what he's doing, it was going to be a difficulty 2. You just insulted a man in his own house, who is well known in an area and much beloved for being incredibly fair.
After you wrecked up the place.
And so...
Yeah, well, I'm an asshole.
Can Gannis step up while he notices the blunder of the younger guy talking?
Absolutely, go for it.
So Gannis would step up and he'd put a hand on Aaron's shoulder and say, I don't think this is the time or place, and he'd start rummaging through his own pocket to pony up his portion of the bill.
I hold up my hand for a minute and I look at the bartender. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I mean, in game, I would be interrupting you, so you're not pulling out your own money. But I would say, okay, let us talk here. We were partially here. We caused Parse to fight. We owe you 50%. Those 2 women up there, they can owe you the rest. I guess.
No, that's not the way this works. They were in here drinking, doing nothing, whenever your man over there, and he points to Cord, came in and instigated a fight. Now, seeing as you are all starting to insult me in my own place of business, I think that it's gone up to 17 gold. And you hear he gives a whistle. He gives a quick whistle, and then he just stands there.
Let us talk about this. Obviously, you are correct. Obviously, the shit talker is here on our side. I agree completely with that. Obviously, have bigger mouth than he has fight, and that would have obviously delayed some of the damage. However, what if we agreed that we take more from their friend who is at the table and we bring it back?
It matters not to me where the gold comes from. I just want my 17 gold, or I will have you removed from the premises and you will lose privilege here in many different places of this island.
Sounds fair. Tell you what, if you could give me that invoice, but this time with no name on it, we will give you the 17. And then she gives like this crooked smile and says, and we will take care of we will get our 17 back another way.
And so he says, he stops for a minute, and you start to hear footsteps coming down. Yeah, I know they're called generic pirate mob because I didn't think anybody would actually have enough guts to, talk to a man in his own house like this.
Oh, fuck. I like to spice things up. What can I say?
While we're up here, I would be like on Deanna and Larissa and say, Deanna, Larissa, let's be frank here. You chose the losing side, but you've known me. We've worked together. I have no qualms with letting you walk away from this. I have no delusion you intend to return to good Captain Lambro's graces, nor need you. You can just walk away from this. I'm your friend. All you need to do is give me everything you know, or I'm afraid Caitlin here is going to be the one in charge of getting the information, and she's a stranger to you and lacks my kind of graces and golden heart. So make this easier for everyone involved to have you up and out in no time.
Give me 1 second, I will respond to that. So when he whistles, maybe a minute or two later, you hear clomping coming down the stairs, and the entire right side of this bar over here just goes dead quiet. As you see, it's probably a mob of like 20 people with bows, sea-bows, cutlasses, hey, there's a midget group in here. Why is there a midget group in there? That's weird.
Midget group! Gannis!
Gannis, your people have come. The halflings are here. I'll just leave them. Just come kind of tromping down the stairs. And Oricus kind of holds up his hand like, wait a minute. And he says to Caitlin, he says, I will give you the bill. He kind of waves like that at Aaron, like that at Aaron, like go ahead and give it to her. But your captain, and he points to Lambro, needs to stay here until the debt is paid. Otherwise, what guarantee do I have? I don't know any of you from Adam, and it's just... this is a very poor way to do business. So I will give you the bill. You may get the money, but I do not want your captain to leave until that happens.
That seems negotiable. We can keep... But how about we just give you... We could give the money, but then we'll lose the opportunity for leverage. Captain, do you mind playing
hostage?
Gift for now. We will return.
Court is going to say, okay, did they respond to me?
I was waiting until Caitlin finished. So,
fair.
Larissa seems to be the weaker of the two. Dania is just kind of like staring daggers at you. Larissa looks like she's about to say something, and Dania kind of jogs her with her shoulder. And Dania says, Cord, I trust you. I don't trust any of these other people, especially Lambro, and especially Fausto. Or this new woman, whoever she is.
Then you have my word, I'll walk you out of here myself. And to hell with the first person who tries to lay hand on you.
Cord, I want your solemn vow on your name that we will leave this island of our own free will, alive and in the same health that we are now. No backstabbing, no tricks. When I give you the information, we stand up, you remove our bonds, and we leave. And I need your word as a man of Kush and on your men.
Do I hear this?
Yes.
Okay, I immediately step in. I put my hand out in front of Korg and I say, let me get this clear. You are not the one who took these hostages, so you make no guarantees for safety. And she leans down for a minute and says, if you do not give me the answers, then I will have fun taking apart every piece of your body till you have no left breath to take.
Yeah. I'm going to kind of lean into Caitlin and say, if we do anything to these people, the man down there with the big mob is going to send them up here and have us killed.
That's not fine. We can take them back to the ship and take care of it. It doesn't bother me any. In fact,
by the time we'll have gotten them back to the ship and tortured them, the shit will have been sold and we won't have the money. This needs to be finished here and now. It's not worth it. We'll get nothing.
We'll get more. I don't walk away, but the people don't walk away alive.
Yes, they do. Or we don't have a good reputation.
She puts her hand up to the owner again. Is it okay if we take our friends with us? You said you don't want any more death.
Oh, yes, absolutely, please. I honestly do not give a care what you do with them, as long as it is in not my in-place business, please.
That's what I thought.
Then I'd look at them and I'd be like, then get it moving and get it out. I don't want to spend any more time here, and I don't want our ship's cargo being loaded on somebody else.
You see this awful Grinkorg that just basically just straight up something from a reaper a little bit as it twinges.
Okay, I'm like, all right, Caitlin. Well, pressingly, I don't think we should leave Lambro behind. I'm gonna try can I? God, I don't want to leave Caitlin with the hostages, but whatever. I'm gonna come down here and be like, all right, everyone, we have 17 gold between us. Let's just pony it up now so Lambro can leave with us. We can't walk away with a captain again, or he's liable to get his head chopped off.
I set down 7 gold on the table now.
Subtract it from your sheet.
I set down 5 gold.
Giannis puts down 3.
So what do we have now? 15?
5. So
I
15.
put the other 2.
Okay, subtract it from your amounts.
Yep.
And so Oricus he kind of counts everything out, because by the way, this isn't like actual gold pieces. It's an amount of money that is equivalent to what's called a gold piece, right? So it's just like it's
pieces of 8.
Yeah, it's pieces, whatever it is, right? It's just
mixes of currency.
It's a currency thing. It's not a specific amount. And so Oricus kind of counts out all the money, kind of like bites on one, kind of sits it back into there. And he nods his head and he pockets the money and he snaps his fingers, and these folk begin to actually break away and start to, get basically gear to clean up and start to remove bodies and whatnot. And Oricus turns to Lambro and he nods and he says, you are of course still welcome here. Just make sure, again, please, no more killing in here. If you're going to end somebody's life, just do it outside, less messy. Everyone enjoys a show outside. People are just in here to drink.
Yes, of course. My apologies for the inopportune moment. And I'll go back up and be like, Larissa and Dania, as long as your information is true, so too is my word. I will ensure you are safe and leave this island of your own free will in good health.
And so they both look back and forth between you and Caitlin.
I guarantee nothing. In fact, I swear by it.
I do more. I guarantee you bad stuff's going to happen.
I am going to make sure that things get even worse for you for every lie or word you do not speak.
While they're up there talking, once the debt has been settled, I'd look to the bartender and be like, fine establishment. Keep up the good work. And I wander up to where they are. And while they're talking, I literally just grab one of the girl's arms and force her up to start pushing her outside.
Go ahead and start moving. So are you all leaving? Like, who's going where?
Kelmac's following the cap.
Yeah, following Cap as well.
We need the 2 girls to lead us to who the person at the table was, so
I was going to say, did he actually leave, or did he go into the back part of that room?
What'd you see, Hades?
Did we watch? I feel like he went to the back part of the room. So Gannis goes and looks over by that fire or whatever. And does he recognize the dude they were talking to?
Give me an observation check at difficulty 1. Either an observation check, or yeah, that's pretty much all you got. That'll work with this. You want to spend that momentum to find out exactly where he is and whether or not he's back there?
Yeah.
Because the success, I'll tell you if he's back there or not. The momentum, I'll tell you where he is.
Yes. Spin it.
See the ping?
Thought that was him.
Yes, that's very much him.
So Gannis would go.
Nice eyes.
Until the captain looks over.
I was hoping, man.
I would stop and kind of glance back and then shrug, because remember, I came in the middle of this, so I have no idea who this guy is, and be like, what?
Yeah, and then when you look, Gannis gives the nod of like, come here, and he's nodding at that guy.
Fausto, can you watch these two lovely ladies?
Of course.
So I make my way up to small fire here.
I remain with the prisoners as well.
So who's remaining with the prisoners? Fausto and Cord? Fausto, you were saying something, sorry.
I am also remaining with the prisoners. I have intentions in mind.
What about Claudius? What is the TTA crab doing here?
I can't control him right now. Otherwise, he'd be standing next to me.
Let me.
Yeah, I can't control blessings either.
So whenever I reset everything, it must. Because we're basically doing beta test for the creator of this Foundry tabletop system. By the way, there's a lot of stuff that he fixed due to what you guys did. So great job. So every time that I reload it in, I think it changes some things. Probably why the music's all messed up. But you should be able to move blessings now. And Claudius. Yep. All right. So what's going on up here? Wait. One more question. Are you guys leaving the bodies of Freya and Orsu? Because those sailors that were kind of walking around are going to start cleaning that stuff up.
Orsu's body's coming with us.
Gross. I'll put that outside. Freya?
I would suggest to the captain that we plunder the bodies and sell off what we can. Because we need the money.
I would agree with that. I'd be fine with that.
I mean, so, yeah, I'd sell their gear, but I would be slightly hesitant to, like, you're talking about, like, the organs or just, like, the shit?
I meant the gear, but, yeah, okay, we can manage that, too.
I don't think a lot of people are looking for kidneys right now.
Liver, okay?
I was going to be using Orsu's body to mount on the bow of the ship as a message.
No, I didn't think of that, but you know, we probably could do it, and I'm sure that if we told them it was like cow liver or something, I'm sure people would pay for it.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't think of that at all.
It's glorious. I like that. I like the way you think.
But no, I meant their equipment.
All right, so Orsu and Freya are going to end up becoming horse food, right?
Crab
food, right. Okay, you're going to try to sell off their belongings. We'll take care of that whenever we start carousing. All right, so Lambro, tell me what you're doing here, because this gentleman is sitting at a table with 3 others, and he's just kind of chit-chatting, and he's got a big old grin on his face.
So I walk up to Gannis, and I'm like, what is it?
So then Gannis would look at this gentleman here and say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you were the one who was doing business with our former friend over there?
And so he turns to you and he looks actually kind of looks eye level with you because he's sitting in a chair. And he says, why, you mean the big Northman?
That is correct.
Yes, I was actually. And just thank you so much for increasing my profits on this venture. That I could not have had that work out any better.
So Gannis smiles along and nods and goes, yes. Funny thing is, those were our items he sold you, so we'll take the profits that were going to him.
Unfortunately, my friend, that's not the way it works. You see, he unloaded the materials onto my ship. Once confirmed that they were onto my ship, he would be paid for that. You were not mentioned in any part of this deal. For all I know, you are just marauders that are, posing as crew members. Unfortunately, yes, it would seem that his death has left not only my pockets just a little bit heftier, but also my hold full.
I'm sorry, I don't want to insult you. What was your name again, Captain?
Captain Jasson.
Captain Jasson. You're very correct. And these marauders will take our leave and go to the ship to reclaim our items then. Good day, sir. And he would turn around to leave.
Excuse me, young man. Wait, you're not. Excuse me, my man. I don't think you seem to understand. Those items were never yours. They are now mine. As per my deal with your former friend, going to my ship would actually, and trying to remove them forcefully, will make me go and talk to my friend, Li Fang.
Gannis would only pause to look at the captain to see his reaction to that. Otherwise, he hasn't turned around from walking away.
Oh, go ahead.
At the mention of Li Fang, I kind of nod, more along the lines of, right now we have no leg to stand on, and Li Fang is the only one who knows where we've been and what happened in terms of our crew and everything else. So it might actually benefit us to go to the Island Kings and Queen and talk to them and be like, look, this is some bullshit. Help us out.
No. Can I please, Captain Jasson? Captain Jasson.
Yes, young man.
Now, excuse me. I don't have quite the experience as you do, obviously. But
very obviously, yes.
The goods that are currently in your possession of your boat were previously in the possession of these individuals that were previously in the possession of that were our items, in fact. And of course, you know this. So that would make you in possession of stolen property, which in fact
he says to another pirate.
So, by pirate code, we're gonna go claim our stolen property back.
Oh, young man, let me. Oh, thank you so much. Are you the jester on your ship? Is that what you do? Because that was absolutely amazing. Listen, young man, I don't want any trouble. But I'm telling you that if any of your men continue to threaten me, continue to try and quote unquote take the goods from my hold, I will just go to Li Fang. You have to understand, this is not Tortage. This is not a place of broken rules. Your man sold his equipment and gear to me. In fact, we were almost in completion for the sale of a ship. So I understand that, you know.
See, that is not his property to sell.
How do I know that? No, it is not. I don't even know who the fuck you are. And then whenever he says that, the guy sitting next to him slams down an axe on the table. Like, don't talk to my captain like that.
I don't even pay him attention. I don't even care that he slammed an axe down. That is our property. You want to go get Li Fang? Go get it.
And he kind of goes like this, and he looks around. He's like, just a moment. Go ahead and give me an observation check, Lambro. You notice that every single person in this back room is watching you. And the intent that they have is not good.
Probably his crew.
probably. And he says, the captain reaches over and he touches his man on the shoulder and he's like, it's fine. It's fine. These young fools don't seem to understand what's going on here, but it'll just a moment, please. So while they're all doing that, what's happening down here with Fausto, Caitlin, and Cord, and obviously TTA's very own Claudius?
Well, I'd have my Marines watching my back, and I would be trying to just be like, all right, Caitlin, now let's not be hasty. I know you're very fired up, having just joined our crew, but we'll have no new prisoners soon.
I don't know why you're so worried about these ones. I mean, if they traitor on you once, they'll traitor on you again, and you think that letting go of loose ends is a smart idea? Okay. But that is exactly why you were in this position in the first place.
Reason is such a technical concept. I'm a man
is exactly what it is.
And moments. And in the moment, haven't we all been, on the wrong and right side of things? There's always a chance for winds to change. It's all about how you've arranged your sails, Caitlin. We're sailors, are we not? We make our trade ply in the waves and the winds of fortune.
You can talk as fancy as you like, but the second I get the opportunity, I'm going to gut these two like a fish and feed them to the sharks below.
Are you guys standing really here? Lucky, wait. Are you guys standing here talking like that?
Just chatting, yeah.
Okay, just curious. Okay, carry on.
And I look at the bartender. How does he feel about this?
The bartender's just watching, and you can see him. He keeps casting glances. I removed him just so the map's not cluttered, but all of his boys are all over the place.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna be like, there's no need to get hasty. As the bartender's established, there will be no further violence in this place. So,
of course, in here.
And if they tell us the truth and lead us well to our profit, then they will have told no lies, and we will make our way accordingly. And if they do tell lies, well, it is as you've said.
So tell me this. Where is the person that you made this agreement with, and how did your friend meet up with him? How did he come across him in the first fucking place?
So Larissa Dania looks like she's kind of like watching around, like she's thinking about things, like she's thinking about like trying to make a break for it, but not yet. The time isn't right. Larissa says, his name's in the back. I didn't catch his name. It was he's a captain of a galley. Orsu knew him from before.
Oh, great. So he's in the back. You can show us where he is. Your legs aren't tied up, so you can walk your happy asses to the back and show him exactly where he is.
And so Larissa kind of stands up and like, that's wrong Larissa. And she just kind of walks around, and then she looks, and Jason is back there. She kind of just inclines his head to this one right here. The one that they're talking to.
I'm eyes on Dania. Eyes on Dania. Like, Larissa is Caitlin's problem. Me and Fausto have Dania down here. I don't know what Fausto's doing, but I got Dania in my sights.
What is Fausto doing?
Observing.
What's Claudius doing? Is he sitting on a bar stool?
Yeah.
Sipping on a martini or anything?
Presumably.
He's probably got a little chunk of Orsu he's still working on.
Nice. All right, both of you that are still down there, give me an observation check.
I have a question. I've accrued not 1, not 2, but 3 wounds. Does that increase the difficulty class for me?
Not for observation. For any physical attacks, yes.
Well.
Okay. So Dania is like, she's getting antsy. She looks towards you, Cord. She looks towards Fausto, and she kind of spits on the ground in front of Fausto, and she looks towards Cord, and she says, You're out of your league right now, Cord. You're out of your league. You need to just let us go. Let us go, and we will let bygones be bygones.
Tell me why I'm out of my league. What is the basis of this? Who is that man, and why should I fear him?
It's not him that you should fear. It's the fact that we were about to join his crew.
So you think that he's going to come to defend you?
There's a very good possibility. Orsu was looking to either join his crew or possibly buy his ship. The man's trying to upgrade his ship.
That man sounds like he didn't give much of a rat's ass about Orsu's demise. I'm assuming I heard it.
I'm sure. The bar's pretty... It's kind of empty except for back there. There's this guy, Pietro has a violin or a fiddle, whichever one you want to call it, and he's not playing anymore because, blood and death. This guy's just kind of watching everything because he's weird. The two barmaids are back over here, and the door opens and a guy comes through, followed behind by this gentleman right here.
By Lu Fang.
Li Fang, sorry, I gotta fix it. It should be Li Fang. It's L-E. I just miswrote it, sorry. And so, the minute that Li Fang comes in, Oricus kind of like runs over and he bows to the man and he talks with him very, very quietly. There's no way for you to overhear. He just kind of like whispers in his ear and Li Fang nods and Oricus walks back.
All right.
And
I would kind of like put a hand under Nia and guide her towards the bar and say, "Let's take a seat. We would not want to stand in the path of Pirate King." And I would make like a half bow in his direction.
And so Li Fang would see the crab before he saw any of you and what you're doing, because honestly he didn't give two shits about anything you were doing until he saw the crab. And he looks at Fausto. And then he looks at Cord and he says, "You were the one I just spoke to, yes? The former,
yes.
the former crew member of my dead friend, yes?"
It is so.
Yes.
Oricus tells me that all of this was your doing, but that you had paid your debts.
We have paid our debts.
I see. Well, if you'll excuse me, a friend of mine's man had come to get me, and I must see and tend to whatever this trouble might be. Does this involve you?
And I would look back and forth, and I would say, "I believe the captain is treating with someone in the back."
Twice now, I've been bothered by you and your crew. We'll see how this fares. And so Li Fang kind of passes by and he sees Caitlin. To Caitlin, he doesn't give a bow, but he gives kind of like a gentle nod of his head towards her. And
she gives one back.
And he kind of passes by and he looks at Kelmick as he goes by, not recognizing him at all. He keeps going.
Can I lead my captive a little bit closer?
Oh yeah. Where do you want to go? That close enough?
That is as close as she will move.
Okay. And so Li Fang sees everyone here and he kind of looks incredibly like his face just becomes incredibly hard and almost unreadable, except for just maybe a little bit of anger. Jason kind of stands up and he raises a hand to Li Fang, and Li Fang kind of gives him a nod back. And I've just been brought from meal. Why am I here? And Jason kind of just goes,
"We're not trying to disturb you. We were trying to simply regain what is ours."
And what did you lose? And why is there a need for a king of this island to come here and adjudicate this?
I apologize that you even need to be here. However, a former crew mutinied and stole all our goods and wares. And while we were talking...
Stop there. So you are telling me that a man that was formerly on your crew mutinied against you and stole your property?
I am.
And so what did you do to this man?
And I point to his body down that's laying down.
I see. And so, what? Then you reclaimed your materials from this man, then? Yes.
That was the attempt, and that is probably why you are here. Because we have not come to a agreement.
I'm sorry. How do you come to an agreement with a dead man?
I'm merely trying to regain our property and explain to this captain that he purchased stolen goods.
So, your man... So Jason kind of laughs again. You hear him chuckling under his breath, right? And he kind of rubs his chin. He kind of rubs at his beard just a little bit. And he says, so, you were too weak to keep your man from mutiny. He stole goods from under your nose, and he sold them to somebody else. Yes, that is what I'm hearing.
Gannis would speak up and say, well, I don't think the sale was final, as the payment wasn't on him, and the payment doesn't seem to have been made, so goods were taken without payment.
So goods were taken without payment from a dead man.
They were taken from us.
But did this man over here, Jason, did he take those goods directly from your ship?
May I please, if I could, the opportunity to step in?
Caitlin, you are a friend of Belit, so yes, please.
If we were to agree, then this person was separated, right, with his own group. Unfortunately, he did pass away at our own hands. However, we do have 2 of his crew members left. They should be enough to pick up the payment. It is only fair, should it not, being that they are the ones who left to represent the group. So then this nice man should pay the ones who are surviving for the agreement that they had made.
Interesting. And you, this prisoner, this is your prisoner, I assume?
That is correct. You know, you got to do what you have to do to make sure that things work out. We don't need her running off and not making sure that the deal is done.
I completely understand. Well, this is very interesting. You killed my friend, and you lost material due to your ineptitude as a captain to keep men from mutiny. This man was accepting the goods and was going to pay for them once loaded. Janice, can you please explain to me the entirety of your deal? And Janice stands up, or I'm sorry, it's not Janice, it's Jason, excuse me. Stands up, he says, of course, you see, those 2 were actually going to possibly be joining my crew, while the others purchased my ship from me. I was in the mix of building things up to where we were going to ensure that the materials were enough to cover along with their own personal funds, and I was going to sell them my war galley. And then we were going to purchase another ship, which I have kind of begun to line up. I'm actually looking for a much larger ship, sir, and either a ship or a cog, and we were going to find another individual to do so. I honestly, if you think about it, sir, the payment was already given in that I was going to sell them my ship, but not those 2. It was to Orsu, the Northerner.
That is incorrect. If I heard correctly, you were going to let them part of your crew after the agreement was done. So until the agreement is completed, they are not a part of your crew. And if they are not a part of your crew, whose crew do they belong to?
And Li Fang's kind of nodding his head. And he's like, this is interesting. So... Where is that Kushite. Kushite, yes? He's a Kushite? No, not a Kushite. Yeah, you're a Kushite, right, Cord?
I'm from the Black Coast.
Black Coast.
My language is Kushite,
Okay.
but nearby.
Okay. My dear Caitlin, would you tell that man, the Marine, to come back over here, please?
The loudmouth?
Yes, if you would, please.
She lets out like a little bit of an exhausted sigh and turns around and says, "Hey! The one who caused all this shit, bring up your friend up here along with yourself. That would be perfect."
Wait, so she's the only person who said to bring Dania, right? Fuck it, I'm just like, yeah, all right, whatever. I'll bring Dania. I guess we're having this whole thing. I'll walk over, and I'll tell my Marines to like square up behind me.
And so Li Fang is kind of like looking at Kelmick, like standing there, kind of in the mix of all this, and he says to him, he's like, "Are you a part of all this?"
I can be.
Hey, what?
He's with us. He's on our crew.
He just stares at Kelmick for a few minutes. There's something just a little bit unsettling. He kind of gives one of these. So he says, you were the one that spoke for your men from before. Did you not tell me that you were looking to sell your ship?"
That was our intention. While we were having the conversation with the kings and queen of the island, the mutiny occurred, so we were indisposed to do anything about it. Those left behind on the ship chose to take the goods while we were explaining ourselves. Our intent was indeed to make sale and acquisition of various vessels and make a change-up of our ship and crew.
He kind of nods, and then he goes back over to Lambro, and he says, there's just disgust from Li Fang when it comes to you, Lambro. And he says,
because I killed his friend.
Probably. I mean, that very could have been. And so he says, so is this true? Are you looking to buy another ship and sell your own?
We are looking to sell the Grim Argosian and perhaps buy another ship. That is correct.
And so he looks over towards Jas and he says, then I offer you, Captain, and you, Captain, the following terms. You may make a choice between these. The first is that Jason will return all of the goods that this man brought to you. You will leave them on shore that they might send their own men and women to pick them up. In addition, you will trade ships. You may take his war galley, and he will take your ship. I believe this is probably the most benefit. Or you may not trade ships, and Jason is to return half of the goods. You see, this is a very difficult situation with so many things going back and forth in between different hands, and the lack of control upon one's men does not necessarily mean that another man should be punished. So Jason will return half of the goods, or my judgment will be for him to return all of the goods, and you trade ships. This to me are my judgments. Make your decision.
What kind of ship does he have?
War galley. It's a war galley.
Okay.
So basically, it's a Drummond.
Okay. And I guess in terms of monetary value, would we as a crew see that as something good, something equal?
You're taking a loss, right? So
Okay.
in between the two ships, you are definitely taking a loss. But the fact that you're going to get a war galley, and let me add this in there. And he looks at Jason and he says, and you You have rowers on this vessel, yes? And Jason nods his head, and he says, and the rowers stay. And Jason kind of nods. He looks like he is very happy about this. You know that you're taking a loss, but if there are people that you already have there, considering that your ship is obviously, word's going to start getting around about this thing, and you're not going to be able to sell it even remotely for the price that you want, it's a decent deal. It's not great. It's you're taking a hit, definitely. Okay. But
so
you look at Li Fang and you know there's no negotiating this. It's one or the other. Sorry.
So I look
Aaron.
back to the rest of the crew. Sorry, somebody going to say something?
No, I said sorry, Aaron. I know Aaron wants to negotiate the shit out of this, but then the price might go up.
I know. That's how.
So I look back to the rest of the crew because we vote on everything, and I'm just basically looking for a nod or a shake of the head.
I give a nod and I say, a fair judgment, a trade.
For someone who fucked up so hard, you should be lucky this is even an opportunity.
Gannis gives a nod.
Whatever gets us out of here quicker.
I mind you, Cap.
And so Li Fang says, well, Captain, your crew has voted.
The deal shall be made.
And so Jason stands up, spits in his hand, and sticks it out to you.
I spit in mine.
Lambro doesn't like spit.
You know who doesn't like spit on decks? Is Aaron.
I hate spit on decks.
That's true. And so he shakes your hand, and he kind of gives his man over here a nod, and this guy takes off.
I would kind of look to Lambro as if, like, with Dania near me, as if to say, like, we can let her go, right? But I don't say that out loud. I just kind of give him the look.
Well, she never got recruited, right? Nothing ever happened, right?
Yeah.
No, she's not getting let go yet.
All right, well, I'm not going to let her go yet.
We're going to take her outside and talk to her.
All right, take her outside and talk to her.
Talk.
So we can get this progression going.
Take her out back with a rubber hose and a ball peen hammer.
So I'm just going to walk up to her at this point, and my cutlass will... Actually,
Are you guys outside?
Yeah, we're outside now.
Okay. Okay,
so
you're outside.
I just walk up, and my saber's actually now sheathed, but I have a knife, and I say, you stole from me, you stole from my crew. You're going to live, but you're going to be marked a thief.
I would step in and say, Captain, I had given them my word that as long as they cooperated, they would go unharmed.
It's funny that you give your word on something that you didn't even captivate. I was the one who captured them. How do you get the right to make that type of judgment call? Do you always
Neither of you
overstep
make
your
that
boundaries?
call. The captain makes the call.
I look at Lambro and I just say, a reputation that encourages people to surrender is one that often brings more profit. Fausto's Kraken sunk that ship to the bottom of the sea and left us empty-handed. Caitlin might enjoy the process of mutilating these people, but if we cultivate a reputation that everyone who works up with us winds up fucked up or dead with no money for it, we'll not be in the piracy game long.
Counterpoint. If we show weakness and we show that we allow traitors on our ship, we welcome opportunities for people to be hired and then
Orsu
turn
and Freya
around.
are dead. And I hold up his fucking mantle I took as a trophy, and I say, we've made our point. If you lead an instigation against us,
you both make good points, and I kind of step in to stop the bickering at this point. You both make good points. And I kind of just stare at her, and I say, I would like to kill you. She would like to see you killed. You're going to live, but you're going to live with your choices. And I'm looking to someone in the crew to hold out her hand on like a stump or a rock.
I'll do it.
Kevin's like, I'll do it.
That's right.
I don't know if the
Pirates
crab can eat
punishing for
anymore.
stealing.
Can the crab eat anymore?
Oh yeah. Actually, Fausto, bring Claudius up.
As you wish.
Yes. This is quite amusing.
Okay, so Claudius is there.
Who are you doing this to?
Whatever her name is, the left one.
Whatever
The one
her
that's
name is.
been-
Hover! Dania?
Can I make
or
one
Larissa?
small suggestion? Maybe
Dania.
you ask each one of them which part they're willing to lose, and then you take it from the other one. I whisper.
Okay.
Which one?
And okay. So I'll look at both of them and be like, one of you is going to lose something. Which one shall it be, and what is it going to be?
And so Dania immediately says, her foot! And Larissa just looks absolutely stunned that Dania would just throw her to the wolves, but
And
we're
I look right at Fausto.
we're not throwing her to the wolves, right? What are we throwing her to, Fausto?
So basically,
To
I
the
would look to
crab.
Fausto, yeah,
To the crab.
The
and I would
clamps.
be, he would know what I'm kind of getting at, because she spoke up immediately. I'll just kind of glance at her and nod, looking at Fausto.
All right.
I want
Fausto kneels down next to the crab, whispers something to it, points at her foot, and says, "Give her the clamp."
Give her the clamp.
And so which one? Who's getting the clamp? Who's getting the clamps?
Dania, she's the one who spoke up,
Okay.
right?
And so
Dania's
Claudius
getting the
just
clamp.
kind of like, and Dania looks absolutely in horror. Larissa's already screaming as the crab just goes, "Acha!" and just cuts her leg off right below the knee. And immediately grabs it and scuttles away with it. And so Dania just falls over on the ground, is just screaming bloody murder. And you know, her hands are still bound behind her. She's just screaming as blood pumps out of her stumps.
I'll stop the bleeding for her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's get her some first aid. She needs to live.
Healing check, difficulty 2.
Okay.
Back alley stump surgery. Welcome to the Civil War surgeon simulator.
Go get a burning log.
Does my healer's bag give me any sort of bonuses, or does that just make it so I can't
It makes
do
it so you can do it, yeah.
Okay.
I have a survival kit too, if I could assist him.
Oh no. Oops.
Oopsies.
Well, there are bound to be complications with crab surgery, okay?
So if you had failed, I was going to let somebody else try to come in and help you, but given the complication, you go up there and Claudius is just too good at his work. He is severed. He got right at that area where the artery just kind of goes into a Black Hawk Down wound and just sucks up back into her leg, and she's already turning ashen gray by the time you realize that you're not going to be able to help her.
All right. I think also I just don't care that much, so it's not my best job.
And so Larissa's just looking at horror, and she looks at Cord. She's like, "You promised!"
I'm gonna walk up behind Larissa, and so she's bound, right?
Yes.
I cut that shit off of her, and I'm gonna say, "The captain's judgment is passed. Away with you."
And so she looks like startled, kind of pulls her hands off and just takes off bolting. She's gonzo. She's running.
Okay. Well, guess we'll dump the body in an alley. Unless Fausto has needs.
Dr. Judge Claudius presiding for surgery, sir. All right, so let us handle
Judge,
one
jury,
more.
and executioner.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Execution.
I get my right leg. Press F, everybody.
Press F for my heart on that one. All right, so we got one last thing to kind of take care of before we go into corral scene. So, who's going down to the war galley to check? I assume, I'm making an assumption. You guys, let me know if that's what your plan is, to go check out this ship. Or are you just going to be like, yeah, it's cool, man, whatever.
Cord was
on Gannis's mind.
Cord's going to say, we need to make sure we're not getting totally screwed in this damn deal. There's no way Li Feng's going to help us have them renege on this. We got to get down there. Also, Doctor, if you'd like to pull a less of a botched job, me and the captain are pretty fucked up. If we get jumped, which should seem increasingly likely, we want to be as ready for it as we can be.
And so, Fausto, do you want to try and seal wounds?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, so who are you working on first?
I'd probably Cord, since he's the first one to say anything.
So Cord has three wounds, so your difficulty is 3. You want to spend some Doom? I got Doom. I'm willing to get some Doom.
I would also say I generated a momentum during an observation test earlier, right? Or did I have to use that?
I stole that from you because otherwise she was going to bolt.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So your guys, the strength of your observation check was enough to keep you from bolting or keep her.
I can help with healing. Gannis can assist.
Would I have, if we go back to like our ship or like in my quarters, would the difficulty be easier rather than just out here in the open? Or does that not really matter here because it's not a sterile environment?
Well, it's a game mechanic, but if you were to go back and rest somewhere and like actually take time, good lighting, because you're in an alley with a dead body right now,
right,
and a crab that looks hungry still. So I would say, yeah, I'd lower the difficulty by 1 if you wait until you get back to the. Well, you're not going to the Grim Argosian anymore, right?
Right, but I mean, I would take my stuff from my quarters over to the new ship, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm just going to turn to Cord and be like, Cord, I can treat your wounds, but we may want to wait for more suitable environment.
Aye. Let's just make sure we don't make any new friends in an aggressive manner until then. And I kind of look at no one in particular, sheath my weapons, and then I just, step in with my boys. Cord is going to remain very near his boys until he is not 3 wounds.
That's probably smart, because that's the way mobs work, by the way. The mobs all take the hits before you do.
So yeah, right. Once we're in like a more safe area of our own on the ship or whatever, I'll do that roll.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking at something. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So then who's going where? Who's doing what?
I would be
cultivating
going
to the
new ship.
We're not carousing yet. You got a ship, and you got a ship to look at, and you got gear to go get. So we need to take care of that first.
I recommend that one of us go to the current ship to make sure that it gets handed over properly. And then another group of us go to the new ship that we'll be taking over.
Gannis wants to go kick the tires.
There is definitely a devilish look in her eyes when she says, I will wait on the current ship to make sure that it is given over in its best opportunity for the new sailors.
I would look to Cord and I would be like, take some men and ensure we are would look to something decent and not simply a rowboat.
Understood. And I also say someone needs to go ahead and inform Dahab of this deal.
Captain, if this new ship comes with a crew of rowers, perhaps we should all go to that ship, retrieve the crew, and have them assist in carrying over our gear to the ship.
That is good. Cord, when you get there and you explain to them their new captain, send one of the men back with the new rowers to do some work.
Aye, Captain.
Okay, so let's start with the war galley. We'll start. Who's going with the war galley? Just so I got a lot of people were talking.
That was up to Cord. Cord was going to be...
Cord. Who's all going to the war galley? So I got Cord,
Gannis,
and Kelmick.
Aaron, what are you doing?
I'm going to the old ship.
Okay, Aaron's going with Caitlin to the old ship, and Fausto, where are you heading?
Wherever the captain's going.
And where's the captain going?
Old ship.
Old ship. All right, so we'll deal with the old ship here in just a moment. New ship. So, you see, this ship has been careened. Does everybody know what that means? Does anybody know what that means?
Kareem.
Negative.
That's where the ship is actually brought onto shore. Basically, it's lashed up and it's kind of tilted on its side so that barnacles can be scraped off of it.
Yeah.
And
this is normal. This is normal war galley shit.
Very. And this seeing this and not just seeing it floating out in the bay immediately gives you a warm belly, because that means that it was being taken care of.
All right, good.
And so as you approach, you see the man that Jason had sent off. Where is he? His name was Lucio. He's a dark-skinned male, probably from the Black Isles as well, or Black Coast as well. And you see that there are two different portions of the camp. Okay, there's one that looks very nice and tidy and neat, and it's way smaller. And you see another portion of the camp is just like somebody threw a sail up on some pegs and was like, this is shelter for you. And so Lucio is over there and he's kind of directing people. And there's a guy standing at his side. So give me 1 second. Where is he? Another dark-skinned male, could be Kushite, could be from Black Coast. He's standing there. I'm gonna pull them both up here so that you can. Whee! There we go. And I can focus him back over here. So I got Kelmic, I got Cord, and I got. That's it. Everyone else was going to the other ship, and Claudius.
Well, Claudius is Fausto. Right?
Gannis. Oh, Gannis. Why don't I? You're so little. I forgot about you. I'm sorry, buddy.
Wow.
Where are you?
Oh.
Gannis, where are you?
I'm in the fire.
You're in
Keep
the fire.
warm.
That's why I couldn't figure you could find you. Okay, there we go. Sorry, Gannis. I was like, I thought there was three, but anyways. Okay. So
Don't
yeah,
forget blessings.
Oh, and blessings. We can never forget blessings. He's hanging out with Claudius. So you approach and that's Fiona. That's a wrong guy. Ugh. There it is. Lucio!
Yeah.
Not Rufio?
Yes. That was the joke, though. Okay. Anyways, so the joke, right? Anyway, so you see them, and you see Lucio's kind of directing things, and you see stuff being offloaded from the war galley. And what's kind of interesting is that you see that there are still some people who are. Please stop spazzing out. It's distracting me. You see that there's some people who are still cleaning the bottom of the ship.
All right, and I'm assuming that I can tell at a glance, like there's the rowers and then there's the pirates.
Yes.
All right. It's the they're having the rowers clean the ship, right?
Oh yeah. And you see that they all have chains.
Ooh. Oh.
Now,
those kinds of rowers.
the folks are all there's probably 10 to 15 rowers. Or I'm sorry, there's 20 rowers. Wait, I need the numbers. 10, 20. Yeah, there's 30 rowers. Forgot. 30 rowers. They're a mix of all different types of people. Okay? But they are all chained together and they're all doing their stuff. And you see another man who's over there. He's a darker skinned male as well, and he's not chained up, and he is scrubbing along with them.
All right. I would walk up to Lucio and in Kushite say, "What goes on out here?" And then in common say, "We're here for our ship. What's happening here?" Lucio
nods, and he kind of gives a nod towards this guy named Kale. Kale says, "It's like, yeah, we're just having the slaves finish cleaning off the ship." And then Lucio looks over at him like this, like with this ugly look. And Kale kind of rolls his eyes and he's like, I'm sorry, the prisoners with jobs are cleaning the ship. And Lucio shakes his head and he's like, I hate that term. And
I'm like, I'm sure you do. Now then, the rowers came with the ship, so you have the keys, correct?
I mean, I suppose, but what would you need the keys for?
That's none of your business. If this ship is ours, yes?
I mean, these people belong to you, so of course the keys are yours.
I'm gonna kind of like make a face when he says these people belong to you, and kind of be like, yeah, hand it here, bitch.
And so he literally gives you the keys to the ship, I suppose. He says, Lucio says, we've left your share as ordered by Li Fang at the bottom of the in the ship. You take a look at the war galley, and it has 2 decks: the top deck, and there's a below deck that probably isn't big enough to house people, but definitely big enough to for stowage. It'd be a tight fit to be sleeping in there, but if it's pouring down rain and you can't get the covers up, then hey, whatever. At the back of the ship there's a fore and an aft castle. There's actually also on the midship there is a balcony, it'd be a catwalk and a lookout on the port and starboard sides. There's plenty of room for rowers. It looks like it's possibly 10 oars per side, which is pretty big for a war galley. There's a metal ram on the front of the ship. At the back of the aft castle, there is what looks to be a below deck beneath that, but there's no steering wheel. There's simply a rudder with a tent covering over that.
Are there
2 sails.
Weapons?
1 second. 2 sails. 2 Drummond sails. They are Lantine sails, I believe, if I remember right. And there is no siege weapon, but it looks like the forecastle once mounted one.
All right, and I'm going to say, Kelmick, Gannis, I'm sure they're not screwing us on behalf of the goods we're getting back. And then I'm going to take me and my Marines over to the one dude who isn't chained up, who's helping scrub, and I'm going to say, I would have your name.
The one dude that's not scrubbing, or that is scrubbing, he's scrubbing and he looks and he's like, who are you?
We are the new masters of this vessel.
I see. And he looks over and he yells in Cushite at the men. You understand it, but he's like, I'm sorry, man. It looks like there's a new owner. And he looks, it's like, and he doesn't think that you'll be able to speak it, but he's like, I'll see if I can get you out of here. And he just goes back to scrubbing, and he's like, I
don't say anything to him. I throw the keys at him.
And he stops and he looks down, and he's like, what's this?
And I would say, those are the keys to your manacles.
He looks down to himself and he's like, I'm not wearing manacles.
I gesticulate and I respond in Kushite, you just told them you were trying to get them out of here.
And he says, is this a trick? If this is a trick, I will kill you on the spot. Do not mess with these men's lives.
I hold up my hands, weapon sheathed, and say, if this is a trick, strike me down. Captain Lambro is a man who believes that every sailor is a free man who chooses his own destiny, where every voice is counted in the vote, and certainly does not approve of euphemisms like prisoners with jobs. So...
and when you say that, he rolls his eyes as like his eyes go dead white. They roll so far back into his head. And he says, they said that over there, huh?
Yes.
Somebody was speaking. Who was it? Kelmick? Dennis?
Oh, I might have made a gag.
Oh.
Outwardly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My disgust for the condition of our ship right now while I'm swiping it up.
Oh, okay, got you. And so, he looks at you and he says, do you need a beater?
And I would say, we'll be in need of quite a bit of crew. Everyone who stays will be entitled to what every crewman is, as befits their station.
He says, he's like, I have a name somewhere else, but everyone here calls me Baraka Slim.
Baraka Slim? Is he slim?
No, he is not.
And I would say, A fine epitaph, Slim.
And he says, now, my question to you is, are these men free? If I unmanacle them and they decide to go, are they free to go?
You have it on my word, vouchsafed by myself and my Marines, that if anybody should try to impress them again in my sight, they shall meet. And I whip out the broadsword and hold it aloft, and I say this bit not in Kushite, but general, just Atlantean steel. And then I kind of like lean it on my shoulder and I say, everyone's free.
And so I think I answered your question wrong, by the way. This is not a slim, like as in skinny, or fat, like he's not fat. He is a muscular, dark-skinned god.
Okay, so he's built.
He's built. He looks like he could definitely limbo. Like, I mean, like, this man is built. His arms are just massive. Like, probably from doing this in time, like, over and over and over again, right? And so...
Like Olympic limbo, like, even?
I would say he could probably go into the Olympiads as a limbo competitor. Yes, absolutely. And so... He turns to the men and he throws the keys to the first one. The first one catches it, and it's an Aquilonian, an Argosian who's kidnapped. And he looks at the keys and he says, "Men, you are all free, but the new captain of this crew is looking for men to row this ship into battle. You will get shares that befit your station. You will have freedom. You will be your own men. But if you wish to go, you have the word of this man that you go so freely.
And let them know that Cord does not abide prisoners with jobs or such practices."
And so you see them starting to turn the keys and starting to unmanacle. What's interesting is that you see that some of them are starting to scrub again. There are a few who are leaving.
They are free to go, and I got my sword now, and I make it real clear anybody's trying to like close in on them. Me and the Marines are stanced up, prepared to dissuade them that would be a good idea.
And nobody's doing anything. They're offloading the last bit. It looks like the remnants of that crew are leaving.
All right. Well, good riddance. I don't do anything to aggravate them, but I make sure that those who leave, at least for so long as my line of sight is good, I have vouchsafed their safety. They get a line of sight. Pirate Town.
Then Caitlin can get a hold of them. All right, so Kelmick and Gannis, what are you up to?
Kelmick would be taking inventory, like Cord asked. After they're finished with that, though, he would definitely be taking a look in every nook and cranny in that ship that he possibly can, looking for maybe little trinkets, something left behind by the previous crew.
Go ahead and give me 2 observation checks. Difficulty 1. Go ahead and give me the second one. Okay, so yeah, you know what's interesting is so you see a bunch of barrels and boxes, and they're all, crates and everything. They're all lashed down, and you see that some of the other ones were pulled away. Like, it just looks like everything is in place where it needs to be. As you're kind of going around and checking for all the little shiny bits, right? You find like just a couple of little things like an earring. You find, what do you want to do with that momentum, by the way? You want to bank that or you want to spend it?
Yeah, we're banking it.
Okay. You just find, just little trinkets, maybe like a small dagger, like that's chipped. Just basically the remnants that kind of get left behind as a group begins to try and move out quickly. Gannis, what are you up to?
Gannis is in a good mood because, like you said, he's the one that really appreciates that the ship's up and being taken care of, getting its preventative maintenance in, and he appreciates what Cord's doing because he's been taken advantage of himself several times in life, but after he sees what's going on, he doesn't bother himself with it. He hops on the ship and he's looking for its general condition, if there's anything obviously wrong with it, and then he just kind of looks at the main moving parts, the rigging and the. You said it's got a rudder, so he's looking at that and making sure everything's in good condition.
Yeah, so go ahead and give me an observation check, difficulty 1.
Can I use that momentum he just banged?
Sure. If you spend all of that momentum, I'll make it worth your while.
Yeah, all right.
So
threaten me with a good time.
So this ship was incredibly well taken care of. Like the only places that don't look like they were taken care of are basically the areas around the oars, the places where the men and women that were, now formerly prisoners with jobs would stay. Everything else is pristine. What's interesting and what that momentum kind of gets you is that at first glance down from the, below, you saw that there was a place where a siege weapon used to be on the forecastle. Now that you get up there and you see that it's more than just that. It's basically like all of the parts were all around it and they were getting ready to take it away. There is enough parts there to put a ballista together if you end up wanting to while you are crossing.
Giannis is visibly happy and starts chuckling aloud to himself. Just kind of jumps and clicks his heels together.
And so all these parts were forgotten in the haste to get out of here now that the new crew is here. And so I want to jump over to the other folks, and I want to remind you guys that you now have a cog as well. So you have two ships. You have the cog, which you're going to have to name, and you have the this new war galley that's going to have to be named as well. And you're going to have to start figuring out who's going to go where. I just want to handle things quickly over on the other ship. Everything looks like it's above board. The Jason comes on and he's kind of inspecting the ship and he looks at the damaged equipment and he just kind of shakes his head. But everything's done, by the book, by the numbers. You sign paperwork that's equivalent to signing over the deed to the ship. Everything is done, very well. Dahab seems incredibly pleased. Altero still doesn't give a shit. Or at least it doesn't appear that he does. And so I want to jump. If you guys, there's nothing on that new ship or the old ship that you're about to get rid of that you want to do, I'd like to jump into carousing with some of the time that we have left, if you guys are okay with that.
I'm down.
So I wanted to damage the ship before we leave, though, or set up something to be damaged. So if they try to pull out of port, it looks like they do the damage, not us.
Okay, that's going to be a very hefty craft check.
Well, I was hoping because
Did you say crab check?
Crab check.
I was going to say, because we have Faustus with us, so that means we have Claudius, which is a gigantic crab. I was just hoping to, put some large rocks just high enough underneath the ship that if it starts to sail out, it's coming up against a barred kind of concept.
Fausto?
So just so it looks, like I said, just so it looks like, hey, it's not our fault you're bad sailors. You really should wash yourself. And it should still look intact while it's there. It's just, like I said, it's like putting a really fucked up underneath the water.
If that's something that you think Claudius could do...
Claudius can move rocks, but I don't know. It's gonna
that would take some pretty big rocks.
It's gonna take some, because the ship is in port, is in a bay, right? So it is shallow-ish. It's gonna take time, and it's gonna have a hefty difficulties, probably 4.
It's worth a shot, I would think, right? Worst comes to worst, nothing happens, and we lose nothing.
So has this been something we were discussing on the way over?
I would say so. I would say that Caitlin is definitely the type of, you learn very quickly that she likes to get even by any means necessary, and she doesn't like to let anyone feel like they've won. So the feeling if they walk away as with a damaged ship, then we're even.
As a counterpoint, Fausto would suggest selling everything on the ship that we can, including the siege weapons on deck.
Oh yeah, agreed. 100%. Caitlin would agree to that.
But I'm not willing to put Claudius at risk trying to move around giant boulders underneath the ships and stuff in the bay.
One rolls over and he squishes himself and makes a crab cake.
I was going to say I could suggest maybe cutting some trim or perhaps slicing the rope from the wheel that helped turns the rudder somewhere along the line, because that thing goes all the way down. So maybe Claudius severs it enough that when they start using it, eventually it'll just.
Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. I like that.
Fausto, that would be a lot less dangerous. It's still going to be hefty because you're going to be like, listen, crab. This is important, okay? Don't cut it all the way with your massive claw. Don't eat the rope. Just cut it a little bit.
Person we just took the leg from.
Don't. I know you're hungry, so you're gonna have to. It's gonna be hefty. It's gonna be a hefty roll.
All right.
It could go bad.
Yeah.
You should be full. Why are you still hungry?
But if you roll a complication, everyone's gonna see the giant crab fucking with the ship that you just traded.
Sometimes we can't.
You're not there, Nate.
It's very well possible. We already have people though on the other ship, so the worst thing comes to worst, they'd have to get here first.
Captain, I can do this for you, but if something dangerous were to befall Claudius, I cannot protect you from the wrath of Dagon himself.
If you can control this crab, if you feel that it is worth it and can be done with no harm to him, then do so.
We could also cut the sails, maybe give a little bit of a cut at the sails. Then if they're rolled up right now, they'll never know until they have to roll it down. And we never agreed what shape the ship was in. In fact, the last time we spoke to the king of the pirates, we actually said that one of them was damaged, and that's why we wanted to sell it.
I think the GM's saying that there's an inspection and stuff that's going to be done. So,
right, but we'll go inspection first.
Right, but I think after this happens, they're going to inspect it, and if we don't hide if you want to sabotage it, it's got to be something very discreet. Yeah. I'm not really worth. I don't want to risk Claudius.
Okay.
Any other sabotage that you want to try to do? Then you gonna want to cut the sails. You want to dive in and take a swim and try and do the same thing to the rope. I mean, if any of you can swim.
That'd be an athletic roll, correct?
Yes, sir. And you would be taking a difficulty boost on that because of...
Yeah, because I'm hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the kind of sneaky stuff as in my character, that is. What say you, my lady?
You did a crafting check? I don't even know where that falls under, to be honest.
So, if you're going to try and sabotage the ship, it's a craft check, which is underneath...
intelligence.
Yep.
Intelligence, okay. Is there anything that... Well, I guess I wouldn't know, but is there anything that they know about, like, current damages to the ship that's already been done? Because I know it was spoken that this ship was in battle.
I mean, you might be able to try and fast talk that one through.
What
like, oh no, this giant hole in the bottom of the ship was totally there because of the battle.
Oh, not a giant hole. tiny, tiny hole. I just want to make.
Hole. There's a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of the ship.
Damn, we should just have the engineer. The engineer would have known how to do this very well.
Yeah, or Kelmick, because he's also a slick man with the hand.
Make the decision.
Might have to save and fight another day.
I would like to point out that this guy really didn't do anything to you either.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything nice either. He's a con artist that got away with a good deal.
Says pirates.
That's damn right. That's why I'm getting revenge.
Make the decision. We got other things to do.
Okay, so I'm going to say that let's go ahead. Oh God. Let's go ahead and let them go.
Okay.
Because I don't know what's wounded on this ship to validate wounding it more.
Gannis fixed most of the stuff.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the I think it was the catapult was completely damaged, but everything else was fixable. He repaired most of it en route. It would need to be, it needs a little bit of tender love and care, but it'll be fine.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
any last things you want to do on this ship before we start doing a little carousing?
I don't have anything, no.
Aaron?
No, sir.
Fausto?
Nope.
All right, so let's move into carousing. So we're going to do this in stages. The first thing is everyone needs to subtract 3 from your gold. That is called your upkeep. So you are paying for your for the next week or 2 weeks, you're paying for all your food, you're paying for maintaining your weapons, fixing things, so on and so forth. Now, there's some stuff that needs to be done bookkeeping-wise. All right? And I need to know how you want to do this. So, you have 2 ships. One of them has 20 rowers left, which is just enough to man all of the oars. Okay? You have 20 rowers. You have Dahab, which is a Marine, and his crew. You have Altero and his crew, which are also Marines. Okay? And then you have the 7 of you. Aside from that, you have... Let's see here. Where is it? Pirate mobs. There you are. You have a ballista crew that stayed with you. And Tranicos's, I think it was him. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Sailors. Now, each ship has to have a minimum amount of people running it. Okay? So on each ship, you're going to have a helmsman. On each ship, you're going to have a captain. On the cog, you're going to have I'm sorry, each ship has to have 2 helmsmen, right? Because you have to have day and night shift. Okay? On the cog, you're going to need to have a total, if you want to have opposite ships, right? You're going to have a total of 10 sailors. Okay? 5 on during the day, 5 on during the night. All right? So basically to scrub the deck, trim the sail, do whatever needs to be done. On the galley, you're also going to need to have 10 sailors. Okay? That's in addition to the rowers. Everything else is pretty much incidental. You also have, addition to those 10 or 20 rowers, you also have Baraka Slim, who's a beater, right? He'll keep time, and he can do it day and night. You don't need another beater. So as it stands, you still need 3 helmsmen, unless somebody else is going to pilot the other ship. You need the captain for the other ship, and then you're going to need a total of 15 sailors. Okay? I would also like to point out that there was somebody else in that Nuru said that if you needed somebody, that she would be there.
Let's fucking hire Nuru. She clearly knows how to fuck shit up.
So, the first thing I need to get done really quick, and I want to get through this, and if you don't know right now, we can handle it off screen, because I want to get through carousing before we end the show today. Aaron, what ship are you going to be on? Because you can't pilot both. I'm sorry, buddy. I know you're an amazing sailor, and I know you're young, but you can't pilot both. So which ship are you going to be on, the cog or the galley?
I'll do the cog.
Okay. All right. Lambro, which ship are you going to captain?
The galley is the new one. The cog is the one we had in port, correct?
Correct.
I would take the cog.
All right. Now, this was kind of discussed out of character. I didn't want to make any assumptions before. Is Cord going to be the captain of the other ship?
If he chooses to, yes. That offer still stands.
My only request is that Dahab and his Marines come with me.
And I would grant that.
Okay, so you are the captain of the galley. Congratulations. Fausto, where are you going? You can't really pilot a ship, or... Where are you going? Cog, which is probably got more room for your junk, or the galley, which is probably bigger? Just in general.
That's a good question. I guess I would start on the cog, but not necessarily stay there. Go where I'm needed.
Gannis. Both ships have ballista.
But the galley has a new one that needs assembled and fine-tuned, so
yes, sir.
Gannis would probably go to the galley.
Kelmick, where are you going, my friend? Cog or galley?
Which one is the better nest?
Well, they're both actually pretty good. The nest on the galley kind of looks a little weird, though, because if you look at the, I think it's either the foresail or the midsail, it's kind of tilted like this because it's a lantine sail. And so the nest is kind of like tilted back. So you kind of be like laying back like when you're in it.
Ooh, that one.
Okay. And Caitlin, what do you want to do and which ship do you want to go to?
That's a tough question.
And you don't have to make the decision now.
I wish to be kind of like not concrete on either one. I would say because Caitlin's such a hostile person, anytime she doesn't get her way a little bit, she just moves on to the other ship. It's like, okay, then if the captain didn't agree with me on that, I'm just gonna move on to the other ship and see if I can't get my way over here.
All right, so we'll just put a question mark next to you. So that means that as it stands, you need 3 helmsmen and a total of 15 sailors to get out of port.
That's so many sailors.
That's a lot of sailors.
Yeah.
I suggest there's a lot of seamen.
Let's go carousing and spread our legend and wildly misrepresent what's happened with us, and then tell them about the cool treasure we're all going to go get, and you should come on board.
All right.
Which ship is Narus coming to?
That depends. She is a helmsman. So she should probably go to the galley if Caitlin's not going to helm the galley. So actually, I forgot you brought Nuru. Nuru is a helmsman. So
that would be up to Caitlin, or I should say Captain Cord.
What'd you say, Gannis?
Said I thought Nuru was a masseuse.
That's a type of massage, but she also does massages on the side, yes.
That would be up to
Added
Cord.
bonus.
Cord as to who he would want, and if they want to do it.
Nuru did a good job helping me in a fight. I'm down to have her aboard.
Okay. All right, so here's what you need to do. All right, there's a list in the corral scene. The first thing I need to know is, are you guys going to do this all together or individually?
Let's do it together. Come on, we need a bonding exercise.
I would say together. Yeah, exactly.
Together.
To, unite the crew.
Unite the clans. Caitlin, are you sticking with the crew as well?
I will stick with them just to watch as to hopefully judge harshly on who they bring aboard.
She's our final checkpoint.
So this is our carousing activity?
You are each going to do a carousing activity individually, but I need to know if you're going to do it as a crew or not.
Yeah, that's fine. I would do it with them. As long as I get to do the activity I was planning for carousing.
Yes. Gannis?
Okay.
As a crew?
Gannis joins the crew, yep.
Aaron?
Yeah, I'm going with.
Kelmick?
Yep.
All right, so now the carousing activities. You have the following activities that you can do. Okay, so we're going to spend 2 weeks here. You can meet a patron, which the only person that has a patron is Fausto.
It's not that kind of patron, though.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, no, this is just a powerful person. So this would be like either Beilit or Li Fang. So you would go and, possibly get jobs, so on and so forth. You can trade, which means you go and buy stuff. You can gamble. You can look for rumors, which is how you're also going to find crew members. Recovery, which means you heal from your wounds. Cultivate renown. Okay, which increases your renown, and none of you can receive a title yet. Okay, so the other thing that you can do is anything that's kind of outside of that, right? So if Gannis wants to build his ballista, that's what he would be doing during this time. Okay, just spending time with the crew when he can on the side. He's going to be building the ship. Looking for rumors is how you're going to find crew members. And then if we have to keep going because you don't have enough, that's what we'll do. Now, the way this works is I'm going to start with Lambro. Okay, Lambro will tell me his activity for week 1. I'll go through everyone. We'll do any roles that we need to do. I'll give you what the results are. And then we go to week 2. You do your second activity. And then that's it. And then if we have to go another week, then we do that. The longer you stay, the worse it's going to get, though, I can promise you. So, we start with Captain Lambro. What activity are you doing?
Well, initially, I'm going to work on healing up, so that'll be my first one.
Okay,
I
so
don't
recovery.
really want to die from gangrene.
So, the total cost is 1 gold for each wound or trauma healed completely. So, you have how many wounds? 2?
2.
Pay 2 gold.
Okay.
Drop 2 gold, and then you can knock off those wounds. Congratulations. You, sir,
Yay.
find a healer on... Apparently, pirates get wounded quite a bit and hurts often, so it wasn't very hard to find a healer on Nunca, a pirate's haven.
I do have a question about healing. Would it be possible for Fausto to handle that for us, or is he just not equally equipped to a doctor?
He's got to have do you have a focus of 3, Fausto? In healing?
I have a focus of 2 in healing.
It's got to be 3 to heal these wounds permanently.
All right.
Scars.
Yeah.
I like
so
scars.
you recover completely, Lambro. Going down the left-hand side. Fausto, what are you doing, sir?
I'm going to spend a gold to cultivate renown.
Okay, so what are you doing to cultivate that renown?
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess just going around and spreading all I can about the tales of summoning the Kraken and all that sort of my sorceress might and my knowledge of the arcane arts.
Slash roll 1d6, sir. So that is higher than your currently renowned, so congratulations, your renown goes up by 1. The people around begin to hear tales of a man that summoned a kraken from the depths and walks around with a crab with a blood-stained hat upon his head. Gannis, what are you doing, sir?
Now, I don't suppose he'd be able to work on the ballista and fine tune it enough that it's got any kind of plus to it, can he?
Not yet, no. That would probably take some time because you still need to put it together. If you want to try and do that the second round, maybe. We'll see.
So I would need to take a round to put it together?
Correct, right? You got to put it together, make sure it's firing right, testing it, replacing things, getting parts that you need, so on and so forth.
Then that's his first.
Okay. By the way, remember that rumors is the way that you're going to get crew members. So, Gannis, tell me what you're doing this week. What's going on that
on that forecastle of that galley, buddy?
Gannis is just so excited. He loves putting shit together. So he's pulling shit out of the boxes that he noticed were left behind. So he's going around. Does this fit? Does that not? And he's putting it, and he's just slowly assembling this thing. He finally gets it in working order, and then, like you said, he's tuning it. He puts a target out on land and starts shooting at it to make sure he's got it working.
Kelmick, what are you doing?
So if he could, Kelmec would probably spend the first week doing some hunting, gathering, fishing, stuff of that sort of nature, looking for like berries, coconuts, clams, tasty things.
And so while you're doing that, you are increasing the stock of the ship's stock. So I will add that into the food stores or basically subtract it from the food stores that you need to purchase. Kelmick, while you're doing that, you're kind of loading things into the galley, and something just catches a whiff, just a terrible, terrible smell while you're down there. You didn't really notice it too much the first time you were down, but just where you're loading this barrels in of the stuff that you're finding, the fish that you're getting and preserving, you notice that one of the barrels that was in the group from the former crew is leaking. And it's kind of tainted some of the barrels next to it. Apparently there was a barrel in this mix that was just full of dung. And so it was left there, and this dung just began to leak out and kind of taint the water barrels and the food barrels that were all next to it.
It's kind of shitty.
Ba-doom-tsh.
Oh no.
You know you guys can blame on that one, right?
The barrel's printed on the side, Veronique.
Yeah, for some reason, it's just a gift from Veronique, and that double complication it was summoned it into the hold, apparently. So, but yeah, you chuck those out, and you're able to gather up all your stuff. Cord, what's Cord doing this week?
Cord is going to swing by and be like, everyone, we've had a great time in port, and, I did pay for drinks earlier, and, help pay off that tab so we could go reclaim our money. And I'm like, I could use a bit of change, my friends.
In other words, he needs to heal, and he ain't got the money to do it.
I ain't got the money to heal, boys. So if you want your Sergeant of Marines to be not dead, I'm gonna need to see some gold.
Gannis paid his share.
I put 5 into do we want to pay 15 or 17?
17.
I put 5 against 17. Who didn't put
7? Yeah.
All right, yeah. So Captain's good up. Did anybody not put in?
Kelmec did not. You can have his 2 coins if you like, but that's all I have.
And I take them. I say, I'll remember this kindness, Kelmec, and repay it in kind. And I'll take your 2 treasures worth of coin, which is presumably like various odds and ends because it's Kelmick. Let's be real here. Like some of them have holes in them, but it's various precious metals. I'm like, thank you.
Cowrie shells.
Yeah. I take that shit and I spend 3 of them. I spend 3. So I had 2. I go up to 4. I spend 3. I remove all my wounds. Correct?
Yes.
Well, clicking the skull doesn't make the wound go away?
That's because I think I got to do it. I think you got to right click on it, actually.
No, you got to right-click.
No, you right-click it. You right-click it. Just kidding. Yeah, you're right. All right, boom, done.
Aaron, what are you doing during this time?
I need to heal.
You need to heal. So, are you going with you and Cord kind of hanging out, talking while you're healing up?
Wasn't it Lambro? Didn't he?
Lambro healed too.
All 3 of us. We're all on the sauna
we're all on the
together.
same. Yeah.
Then
we're on the sauna together.
Afterwards.
All right, so go ahead and pay that 1 gold, and there you go. And so that takes us to Caitlin. What's Caitlin doing?
Caitlin probably would have perked up for a moment, knowing that she missed an opportunity to have Cord in her debt instead, and kind of like
not yet.
That was like that moment that she was like, fuck, I didn't come to the deck fast enough. But she is going to spend some time with the king of the pirates and stuff in the area in order to try to continue to have them in good graces. She will lead hintingly that what we're planning to do and explain that it would be kind of at their benefit to help us out find some people, because good people in smaller numbers would put money higher in their pocket. So if we have someone who could do the job of 2 people, could bring them back gold for 2 people.
Give me an insight check.
Insight, you say?
So yeah, you go about and you're I assume this is underneath the rumors bit, right? So you're going out, you're talking to folks. Okay, good. All right, so 2 things happen. Number 1, you find some sailors who are willing to come with you. Nobody super special, unless you don't want them to come with you. If they're sailors, they can climb ropes, they can pull ropes, they can scrub decks, they can shoot bows if need be. But they're not anything super special. Do you want them to come?
I mean, I guess that's okay too, because if they're not very special, that means that they can be killed off in order to lower the shares. And
so as you're getting ready to leave wherever you're speechifying from, an old sailor kind of jogs your elbow and says, "Excuse me, ma'am."
Yes.
I hear you're talking about doubling gold and making gold. I might actually have an opportunity that could benefit you. I have information, if you will.
All right, information of details.
Information of a little location that may very well hold riches that from a pirate who hasn't been seen in a while. Hmm?
Sounds like a great opportunity. So you are looking for to be let there, or protection there, or what?
No. I'm looking for 2 different things. Mm-hmm. Number 1, I'm looking for payment up front, of course. I mean, this is very important information. But number 2, I'm looking for a job.
That's perfect. So payment up front, we can make payment for you getting a job. We can make sure that you are well paid at your job. But why would I pay you up front for information that hasn't prospered as of yet? Well, how about once it prospers, I will guarantee your payment.
Well, I heard about the scene at the Humble Crab, and I like the cut of all of your jibs, but I
don't trust some of my own crew members.
Well, I don't trust. I mean, you understand what I'm saying. I mean, you see, if I have some payment up front, I can spend it before we go, enjoy myself, give you the information, and then when we go, if I die, I die, and I have lived my life to the fullest. You see, I'm looking for a crew to jump onto that I can provide this information to, and but I don't want to do it for free.
What's going to guarantee me that you are going to return back if I pay you?
Well, I mean, this is not a very large city. I doubt that I could disappear. Perhaps half now, half when we get back to ship. Hmm?
How about quarter now and the rest when we get back to the ship?
How about 1 gold now, 4 when we get back to ship? The information is very, believe me, it's beautiful.
I will give you 1 gold now. And I promise you this, if you do not appear on the ship, not only will you not have a job, but I will guarantee you don't have a life later.
That's fair. That's fair. I understand and respect that. Yes, that's fair.
Okay, so I will pass up my gold.
Okay, and so this man is very much who he says he is. He's a helmsman. So, and he has information that could lead you to a former pirate fort that belonged to another individual who has not been seen in many, 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 many moons. So odds are that he was taken out while on the seas, and his riches are just sitting there, gathering dust in this fort that is buried deep in the swamp.
Well, we can't have that. What a waste. Well, for now, let us be that I am hiring you, right? It would be best that we keep this to ourselves until everything is done. I would prefer to have the opportunity to speak with the captain directly before making any other moves. Could you not agree that I am the one paying you? We would agree to this accord.
I firmly agree to this. This is very good.
Great. Go have your time. I don't know what you're going to do with the gold, but I will see you on the ship.
I'm going to the candy shop, by the way.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Remember, we have new names for that. We do. It's kind of like prisoners with jobs. We call the brothels candy shops. So, cool. Speaking of the captain, we go back to. Oh, I'm sorry. We got one more thing to do before we go into our second week.
Carousing events.
Carousing events. 18. What is 18? So let's see here. I'm in the wrong book.
Mithras blesses us again.
No, that's visitor. You're in the wrong one. We do the pirate one, buddy. Shore carousing events. A helping hand. Luck continues to smile. Gambling finally pays off, and that firm, sensible investment you made with the gold from your latest voyage, putting it all on a well-made roll of the dice, has earned you an extra 3 gold. Enjoy it for the next time the dice are unlikely to be as kind. All right, so Lambro, since you're all doing this together, you as who's your gambler? Who's the gambling man?
I don't know. I think Kelmick would probably be the gambling man. He seems like the type.
Kelmick, are you the type?
Why not?
Add 8 gold to your mix.
Ooh. Nice.
Lambro, second week.
Second week.
So you now, by the way, you still need 7 sailors and 1 helmsman to outfit full crews.
And what about?
And that's not including. Look, we'll handle that off scene. You need, lookouts are beneficial. Marines are beneficial. And craftsmen are beneficial. All these other roles, but for the right now, the people that you have 3 helmsmen, including Aaron. You need 7 more sailors to minimize the outfit of the crew. And you only have 20 rowers for 20 oars. So, whatever you want to do, carry on. Do as you will.
I will look for some replacement rowers.
Okay, so go ahead and do an insight check. Or well, let's see. What do you got? Tell me how you're going to find these rowers. Tell me what you're doing.
Well, I would go to Mr. Baracus Slim and ask him if he has any contacts and friends that might be interested in not being, what do they call them?
Prisoners with jobs?
Thank you.
He kind of just shrugs his shoulders. He's like, not really. I spent most of my time on the ship. These are my friends. Some of the men who quit might be out there. You might be able to find them. Go ahead and do an insight check. Difficulty 1. How you want to spend that momentum?
I'm going to use it towards helping me find the old men.
So you managed to talk 5 more rowers into going, but you also find 3 sailors who are willing to go with you as well.
Okay.
So that adds, so you now have 20 plus 5 rowers. Fausto, round 2, buddy.
Same thing.
Wait, isn't that 8?
Did
she say 5 former and then 3 more sailors, or did I mishear?
Yeah, you needed 7.
We need
Right?
7 sailors.
So you
That
need
was
7,
aside
so you
from
got 3.
extra
So
rowers.
you need 4 more sailors to have a minimum crew.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Fausto, same thing. Tell me what you're doing this week with Claudius out there.
Kind of following up, continuing my stories. Also at the same time trying to find if there's any other individuals interested in such knowledge, I guess, and spreading word amongst them, and also that my crew and I took down a Setite sorcerer and his ship.
Oh, geez. Okay. Go ahead and how much gold are you spending?
Just 1.
Okay, go ahead and roll 1d6.
And hopefully I don't roll a 1. That was close.
Congratulations. You are now becoming, the people are becoming more and more enamored, mostly with you. The crab has a big part of it. The fact that you're doing all of these things in the sorcery, everybody loves a little bit of sorcery as long as it's not affecting them directly, right? So you're definitely pulling a lot of renown. Your name, you hear your name every so often now. So congratulations.
Pick the sorcerer, most popular guy.
Pick this sorcerer. Look at that handsome ass face. Of course he is, right? Gannis. Speaking of handsome, Gannis, what's Gannis doing this week?
If it is possible, he's doing refinements to the ballista to give it any kind of advantage.
Okay, so craft check difficulty 3. Complication will be very, very, very bad. Do you want to spend a doom to roll more dice?
We got no momentums.
No momentum, sir.
We have 4. Is anyone upset if I add a doom?
Go for it.
Doom.
I'll add a doom. You said difficulty what?
3.
Strong roll. Craft. Doom. Everyone blow.
Congratulations. So, 2 things happen here.
Thank you for blowing.
Number 1.
Oh, I got a bonus die too. I didn't account for it.
Roll to 1d20.
Will that get rid of the doom?
No. The doom was already in play. I want my doom.
I want my doom. Give me my doom.
17 beat your craft? It's over your craft. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
My craft's 15.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, so 2 things happen. Number 1. You now have on this ballista until it becomes broken. Okay, I will make this note. Until it becomes broken, any momentum or doom that you spend using that ballista gives you 2 dice instead of 1.
So someone know that.
So it's very similar. I think it's blood on steel. It's a very similar thing. The minute it becomes broken, that all goes away. Okay.
Is there somewhere on my sheet I can make notes?
Yeah, I think at the bottom
put douche canoe in my biography.
Who would do such a thing? The guy going. The other thing is that you're on this ship quite a bit, and Kelmick is going in and out, bringing fish and food, and the day that he finds all the dung in there, you kind of go down there and you help him out, and you start to realize that there might be something that you can do with this, because the way that this stuff was packed into there, a lot of the phosphorus containing materials kind of settled into the middle. And so basically the way that it was pressed started pushing out a lot of not the waste, but the actual nitrates and the phosphorus containing the sulfur containing compounds. You think that if you spend some time with this in the very near future, that you might be able to maybe 1, maybe 2, basically create a shit cannonball that catches on fire.
I thought you were going to say I could grow with it. But
you could, you could do that too. You could definitely get the nitrates and all that stuff.
I would prefer the flaming shit cannonball.
You probably, given the materials, it's going to be messy business and it's going to be very dangerous business. But you think that you could possibly ferment this stuff, kind of wrap it up with wax along with some oil, and you might be able to create a shit cannonball for your ballista.
Got it.
I will tell you that a complication with this on anything through the craft, through the shooting of it, could be very, very, very bad. I could not let my
challenge accepted.
It could be very shitty. Okay, I cannot let the dung action remain at 3 to 10. Okay, we have a crowd there that needs this, and I'm going to see if I can get that hat put on the crab.
Boy, if I misfire
the
that
ballista,
the egg on my face.
It would be something on your face. All right, Kelmick.
Lemonade margarita.
Oh.
Kelmac will spend his last week seeing if there's any merchants that will give him a 5-finger discount.
Thievery, difficulty 2.
Oh my god.
Oh, when does our fortune points regenerate, by the way?
After this. So XP's coming in. So before you start on the next. What are you trying to steal, Kelmick? What in particular are you eyeballing?
My heart.
He already stole mine.
Well, if I can find any eyeglasses, that would be nice.
Like spike, like those?
Yeah. Like,
yeah, absolutely. You know, this is a pirate cove. There's probably a big old. Tell me about how you steal it. Right? It's probably on a one of those bazaar kind of areas with the cart and all that stuff. Tell me what happens.
Okay, so Kelmac walks into this market area, and he sneaks into a back alley behind one of the carts, and he takes his whip, and he just cracks it a good 3 or 4 times and screams bloody murder. Just, oh my god! Oh my god! And he's gonna sit and he's gonna listen for some rustling footsteps, and when he does, he's gonna run around that the shack that he was hiding behind in the alley, and he's going to snatch this little spyglass from behind the cart and bolt out of there.
And there you go. Congratulations, you now have an eyeglass. I'll add it to your inventory this week. Cord, what's Cord doing this week?
Cord is going to work on spreading his renown. So, I've taken a trophy from Orsu. I've spin-doctored events to make us like the rightful heroes of piracy. And I'm just going to spread the name around and let people know it's your boy, Cord, yet again, coming at you. And I'm going to spend the 1 gold I have left to my name. Thank you again, Kelmick.
And you don't need to roll because you're going to at least roll a 1. You're renowned 0 right now, right?
Correct.
There you go. Congratulations. The people hear the story. Everyone's heard of the man who killed Orsu inside of the Humble Crab. And this is not unusual. So it's very well known that you did this and your renown goes up.
Hey.
Aaron. What is Aaron doing this week?
Aaron is going to try to recruit some young boys, but not too young, but like I'm going to use my charm. Don't look at me like that. I'm going to try to get some people on board that are of my age. I'm going to try to recruit kids. Maybe some guys running around. Maybe they don't have good lives. Maybe they're searching through trash. Maybe they're doing all kinds of stuff like that. I'm going to try to get them on our side.
Go ahead and do an insight check. And do you have charm? Is charm a thing in this? I don't think it is. It's persuade.
I have persuade.
Persuade, yeah. Go ahead and do persuade with a free momentum.
Persuade, free momentum? Okay.
Yes, sir. Recruited. Young boys recruited with your charm.
You got that still that baby face they can relate to.
Look guys, you can be a sailor like me.
You can be a pirate. Isn't that fun?
We'll get you into the bar.
What, difficulty?
Difficulty 1.
Hey.
How you want to spend that momentum?
All
in aiding you?
We got a we got a good amount of guys so far. We got like what 5, and so we need like 2 more. Or
You
something?
need 4. You need 4 more sailor, 1 helmsman, and you only have 5 extra rowers. You have no extra marines, so you have 1 marine crew per ship, basically. Dahab on one ship and Altero on the other one.
All right. I'm gonna dump it.
And no ballista crew either.
Can I use that just to aid in my recruiting?
Yep. So you'll get the 4 sailors that you need to minimize crew. Do you want to have any extra sailors?
I don't have any extra sailors. I mean, definitely want to get the core slots filled first, but like if more people are coming up and they're like, "Hey, I want to join," I'm like, "Sure."
So here's the deal. I will let you fill out the sailors, so the 4 sailors, and spend those 2 momentum on a helmsman.
Sounds good to me.
So that you guys basically have full crew now. Okay? I mean, not full crew. You have minimum crew. Okay? So you can get the ships into the water and go now. And so, you find some folks who are willing to join. In fact, one person that was willing to join that I'm going to give you for free was a young lad that you recognize from the docks that wants to be a cabin boy for one of the captains.
Still wet?
He is dry. It's been a week. Would you accept him on board?
Oh.
Can I give him a background check?
The bullied boy.
Yes, you can give him a background check.
All right, turn around.
Ooh, whoa. Yikes. So yes.
Good. I mean, it's up to you.
Ship always needs cabin boys. It's up to you. I'm asking you.
Oh, it's asking me. How old is this? How old are you, kid?
He's probably 12, 13.
Holy shit.
That's pretty old actually for a cabin boy.
That's pretty old for a cabin boy. What are you too old for this, buddy? Turn your heads around. Just kidding. Yeah, you come on board.
All right, so you got a cabin boy. Cool. All right. Caitlin, last go around for our carousing this time before I do my roll, and then we bid our fare thee wells for today.
Fair enough. So food. I think.
Sorry.
I kind of want to.
You don't need to take an action to shove that kid back into the freaking water, okay?
Good. That's good. I know that Larissa is still alive.
Yep.
So I want to do rumors, right?
Uh-huh.
A positive for us, but a bad spin for Larissa. So like she can't get another
start
job.
telling me what you're saying, and then I'll give you the roll.
Well, there is this opportunity that you could have. Unfortunately, only the loyal could join us. We did have someone on board that I'm sure you wouldn't want to. If you ever have the opportunity to come across her, I would recommend thinking twice. But if you're interested in gold and success in life, you look like someone who could be trustworthy. Why not think about taking the opportunity working with us?
So, your persuade sucks.
No, it does. It 100% sucks.
So, I'm going to let you roll lore for this. Or no, I'm sorry. We'll say, I almost said thievery. Let's go with linguistics. I think linguistics matches, right? You're trying to match with the language of the people. You're trying to, down talk this thing. You're using a lot of wordplay to down talk Larissa, and you're also trying to bolster people's ideas to join you. So I think that's the best I can do. It's better than persuade.
That's fair. It's kind of like, I don't want us to look like fucking wimps, but at the same time, I want it to look like, hey, I wouldn't work with her if I were you.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so you pass. So, I'll
I'll let you choose. Would you rather rowers join you or sailors join you?
I will take. What do we need left? I would assume I've been keeping a close eye to that.
You got minimum of sailors and you got +5 on the rowers, right? Rowers tire out, but if a sailor gets wounded, you start to have you don't have people to jump on the rigging and stuff.
I'll take some sailors, absolutely.
So I will give you another group of 5 sailors.
Another group.
All right, and you get, while you're in the middle of your speech and you hear somebody in the back, you're like, I know who you're talking about, that freaking traitor. And so you hear, the story of what happened in the Humble Crabs got around. So, yeah. All right, so really quick, because we are already 40 minutes over our normal time, but I wanted to get this done today so we can get back on to some high seas adventures next week. Lambro, what's going through Lambro's mind right now?
He really wanted to get out and change the thoughts and attitudes towards him, since right now he's been painted in a negative light due to their past, what he did with the former captain, and then the fight in the bar. But he wanted to focus to make sure the crew was taken care of. So we got sailors. We're going to be looking at food and things next. So he's kind of just hitting the ground running, not stopping.
Fausto
is looking forward to getting back out on the seas, looking for more of that arcane knowledge and magical artifacts out there.
Gannis.
Gannis is excited to use his new equipment and his ship bomb, so he's in a positive mood.
Kelmick.
Twice the ship means twice of me looking out for them. But I do like my new makes things look bigger thing I've got here.
And Cord, I'm going to skip you for just a moment. Aaron.
I got a cabin boy. Now I'm not the youngest kid on the ship. Hell yeah.
That was a true motive right there.
Yes,
that
it
was.
was.
I think she still got you in her sights, though.
Whipping post moved. Hell yeah.
Very good. All right, so Cord, tell us what's going through Cord's mind, and then let us know what Diesel Shot is up to this week.
Cord's going through his mind the fact that he did kind of promise that one of those people were going to get out of here if they told us the truth, and they did. So he's not so sure about that whole alleyway business, but he's interested in getting back out and being rich again, because he's poor as fuck. We're fucked up, and we got this new galley, but if we don't get it some use, we're not going to be good too long. So, yeah.
Diesel Shot me, baby.
Yeah, so the Diesel Shot, take it, pour it up, enjoy it. We stream like 5 nights a week or something. It's crazy. Join us tomorrow, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, for our Worlds Without Number game, Arcspire, sponsored by Phil's Moon Entertainment. It's awesome to go to wacky, weird biomes and have strange stuff happen to them in a weird fantasy setting where they heal, destroy alien biomes. Thursdays, every 8:30 p.m. Eastern on, we have our Fallout tabletop role-playing game. It's in its 3rd season. They come to a huge climax. Cool new stuff happening every night. Come on out. Every other Saturday is a Change Stars or other sci-fi adventure run by Pat. We had to put off last weekend, so I believe current plan is this weekend. We are going to be doing some of that. So come out for a drone-filled adventure. And Mondays we have High Road. I mean, we got a lot of games. I do a lot of dev streams. Come on out. Diesel Shot, awesome Twitch channel. Please join us, and you're all wonderful.
I agree that 100% it's an awesome Twitch channel. We're always very happy to have you here with us. Speaking of awesome Twitch channels and people that we'd love to have here with us, if you could tell us what's going through Caitlin's mind, and then I would love to hear what Milady Saito is up to this week.
What's going through Caitlin's mind right now is she's on the fence about how this crew works. They seem at one moment real quick to cause a fight, and at the same moment they're real quick to offer sympathy, and it makes her very unsettled because when you're not sure if you're the good guy or the bad guy, you're no guy. you gotta be. So she's really unsure of who really makes the decisions, I guess.
And Milady Saitomi, I just threw your Twitch channel out there in the chat. Always happy to have you with us. We love you.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Milady Saito. We play tabletop games on my channel on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. We are going to be moving over to more games as well. I'm having a birthday stream, and I'm going to be releasing a YouTube series that is going to be literally random stories of tabletops that you can send in anonymously or whatnot, and we will have one DM or GM that reads the stories, and we grade them as we go, as we drink.
Wow.
And it's gonna be
That's
done.
terrifying.
It's gonna be wonderful. I have good feeling that it's gonna be real fun to watch, and I just can't wait to be able to get it off the ground, and hopefully the first episode will be posted by mid-September. So that is the goal. Oh, there's so much stuff. Definitely check out the Discord, the Twitch, and the Twitter. That's me.
Well, we are very pleased to have you with us, and you are definitely a amazing part of this show, and so we love having you.
It's always a pleasure. It's always.
So we got one last thing to do here. Lambro, pick somebody and ask him the question.
Cord, what is best in life?
To break your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their women. Ah!
And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you as always for joining us today. This week we have Curse of Strahd on Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, correct, Taryn?
Yes.
And on Sunday is Kelmick. What's going on Sunday?
Paranoia, 1 p.m. EST.
Alrighty. And then next week we will have on Tuesday our Conan game, and we'll update you then. So until next time, we appreciate all the folks who joined us today. Always love having you here. I'm glad that the dung scale went up to 9 to 10 at the end there. And to my players, as always, it's always a pleasure running for you guys. You guys are awesome. And we will see you next time. May Crom watch after you, and if he doesn't, to hell with him. We're going on a raid. Here we go.
You are a pirate.